Hello. If you have a child with a genetic disorder, I'm sure you're aware there's many different kinds of genetic disorders. The more common ones are things like Down syndrome, Williams syndrome, Rett's, Angelman's, and a plethora of chromosomal issues with inversions or deletions, mosaic. But the important thing is every child, regardless of what their specific chromosomal issue is still a unique child. If you will, you're a unique child. It's important when you look at your child and try to envision their potential that you look at them optimistically. Sadly, generally what is done for children with genetic disorders is the world tends to look at the collective group of kids with the same disorder and what they have done and how they have done historically. You really don't want to do too much of that, if any, because generally the opportunities afforded most of those kids were terrible. I mean, you don't only have to go back 20 years to see that it was horrendous. And sadly, even in recent years, what is provided for kids with genetic problems is generally still a reflection of their perceived potential. So they provide opportunities commensurate with that perception of what their potential is, which generally means perception of limited potential. That means generally low expectations. So that generally means limited opportunities. And when there's limited growth and little development, no one's terribly shocked because that's what they expected. Okay, I want you to erase that. Parents, erase that. The nature of the whole human experience and development is neuroplasticity. And whether you have a gifted child, a typical child, a child with a brain injury, or a child with a genetic disorder, the fundamentals are, if you will, the same. And the fundamentals are neuroplasticity, and we affect change by triggering neuroplasticity. All right, which essentially means we need to supply every child with very specific targeted input with sufficient frequency, intensity, and duration to, in fact, develop, or if you will, change their brains. The better job we do of that, the better the child is going to do. Here at NACD, we've worked with literally tens of thousands of kids with virtually every issue you can possibly imagine. And, with genetic issues, beyond being aware of the specific physiological or structural issues they may have, in terms of developing their vision, their hearing, their processing, their language, their motor skills, all of those pieces, generally their specific genetic issue is rather irrelevant because the process of development is the same for virtually every child. And thus we need to see exactly where a child is and design a program to fit that child. Here at NACD, we call what we do as creating targeted developmental and educational intervention programs. All right, we use literally thousands of techniques, all right, to be as specific and targeted as we can. What time is available to help these kids and work with your kids is such that we need to maximize that time and those efforts. And the sooner the better, and the more the better. Right? We've spent these decades seeing children do things everybody said they couldn't do. We love doing that. And I assume you as parents would love to see your kids do that. You know, we work with and through parents. We work with the whole child, all aspects of the child, from what they eat and their nutrition, to their sleep, to their behavior, to how they see, how they hear, how they feel, how they move. All pieces of the child together. All right. You know, sadly, as you know, typically you have people working with different pieces of your child, not your whole child. And generally don't know your child. We acknowledge, accept that you, the parents, know your kids better than anyone else does. So you, the parents, with us and our expertise, working together, have the best shot at maximizing your child's potential and development. So if you will, please, forget history. Forget what other children have done who have similar issues. Perceive your child as unique. And let's provide your child with a targeted program to fit your child and raise the goals, raise the expectations. Okay, give you a new picture. We have some articles and videos listed below this video. I'd encourage you to watch some of those, read some of the articles, get a feel for who we are and what we do. Okay, we'd love to be able to help you. If it sounds like we're a fit for you, please give us a shout. We'll do everything we can. Thank you.